Chosen one, listen carefully. The air around you isn't still by accident. Something in the unseen has shifted, and you can feel it, the weight, the electricity, the hush before the breakthrough. Heaven has interrupted your routine to whisper destiny into your spirit. This moment is not random. It's divine appointment. You've been walking through days that looked normal, but inside, your soul sensed a quiet stirring. That wasn't anxiety, it was awakening. God has been arranging moments, faces, and even delays to draw you to this very second. You are standing at the threshold of something massive. Sometimes, divine interruption doesn't look glorious. It looks like a door slamming shut, a friendship ending, a plan collapsing. But heaven often hides miracles inside what feels like disaster. Imagine Joseph in the prison cell, forgotten by men, but remembered by God. His lowest place was the birthplace of his promotion. You, too, have had nights when it felt like nothing made sense. You prayed, waited, obeyed, yet silence answered back. That silence wasn't rejection, it was preparation. God was teaching you to hear his whisper above the world's noise. You were not buried, you were planted. In the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, it is written, "For the vision awaits, an appointed time, though it linger. Wait for it. It will surely come, and will not delay." That is your promise. What God started in you will not expire. The waiting season was never punishment, it was calibration. Every delay aligned you with heaven's timing. Like a clock being reset to divine rhythm, your spirit is now in sync with destiny. Let me tell you a story. There was once a woman who felt forgotten by God. She worked tirelessly, gave generously, but life stayed small. One day, she lost her job, the last thread of control she had. Devastated, she cried, "God, why now?" Weeks later, a stranger mentioned a project that needed her exact skills. Within months, she was traveling the world, carrying messages of hope. She realized the loss was not destruction, it was divine redirection. Her story echoes yours. The interruption is not to end you, but to announce you've been like a lantern in a storm, flickering, fragile, yet still burning. Every gust of wind only proves that your flame is real. The darkness tried to convince you that God was silent, but in truth, he was sculpting your endurance. Now, your endurance has become oil for the fire that will never go out. Lift your eyes. Chosen one. The same spirit that hovered over the waters in Genesis is hovering over your life right now. You are about to see doors open where there were only walls. People will say, "It happened suddenly," but you'll know it didn't happen suddenly. It happened divinely. Do not fear what's unfamiliar. Every divine interruption first feels uncomfortable. Before the dawn, the sky always looks its darkest. Before the eagle soars, the nest must break. The shaking you feel is not chaos, it's birth. Take a moment. Breathe in faith. Exhale doubt. Heaven is still writing your story. And the next chapter begins with your obedience. Don't run from what's happening. Lean into it. When God calls a chosen one, he doesn't ask if they're ready, he makes them ready. That's what he's doing with you now. If this word resonates deep within your spirit, leave your sign below, 777. Share this message so another soul can find courage to wait, to hope, to believe again. And if this voice feels like home, subscribe and stay connected. There's more coming. Something massive is unfolding. Heaven is moving in your direction. This interruption is not the end, it's the beginning of your unveiling. Chosen one. Do you feel that gentle stirring within your chest right now? That's not emotion, it's recognition. Your spirit remembers what heaven spoke long before you were born. You were destined for this. The winds that once pushed against you are about to carry you forward. The same storms that tried to drown you will now reveal your strength. You are stepping into alignment, and heaven is standing still to watch you rise. Every heartbeat from this moment forward is part of a holy rhythm. The pieces you thought were lost will fall perfectly into place. What once felt like delay will soon look like design. Keep your eyes lifted. Divine momentum is gathering behind you. God is not only moving for you, He is moving through you. So stand firm. Chosen one, let faith be your anchor and courage your song. The interruption has become invitation. Your time has begun. You were never ordinary, and that's why life has never felt ordinary around you. The things that broke others couldn't break you. The storms that silenced others only deepened your discernment. You have walked through fire, and somehow you still carry light. There's a mark upon your spirit. One heaven recognizes instantly. It is the mark of the chosen. Since childhood, you've felt it, haven't you? That quiet difference you couldn't explain. You tried to blend in, but something inside refused to let you. Even when you hid your light, it still leaked through the cracks. That tension between fitting in and being set apart wasn't confusion, it was confirmation. God was whispering, "You're not meant to be like the rest." Oh, every chosen vessel carries visible scars of invisible battles. People saw your calm face, but they never saw the nights you wrestled with doubt, the mornings you rose despite exhaustion, the silent prayers whispered through clenched teeth. Those unseen moments were sacred altars. You were being refined where no one could applaud you. Think of David in the fields, forgotten by his family, ignored by his brothers, yet seen by God. While others were celebrated, he was cultivating courage with lions and bears. That isolation wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You, too, have been trained in the hidden places. Every quiet victory in secret has written your name into heaven's story. The ancient words recorded in Romans, chapter 8, verse 30, proclaim, "Those he predestined, he also called; those he called, he also justified; those he justified, he also glorified." Do you see it? Your journey was never random, it was prophesied. Every wound became a doorway, every loss an initiation. God didn't simply choose you at the moment you said yes. He had already chosen you before you even knew his name. Sometimes you questioned your worth because the world measured you by outcomes. Heaven never did. God measures you by endurance, by how many times you got back up. The enemy tried to convince you that being different was a curse, but heaven calls it evidence. You carry a spiritual frequency that darkness cannot mimic. That's why warfare finds you easily. It recognizes your potential before you do. There was a man once, a teacher no one understood. He poured his heart into his calling, yet every door he knocked on remained closed. In loneliness, he prayed, "If I'm truly chosen, Why is everything resisting me? Years later, when God lifted him into a new season, he looked back and realized every delay preserved his purity. Every rejection protected his purpose. What felt like exile was, in truth, divine insulation. That same principle covers you. The mark of the chosen is not immediate success, it's sustained purpose. The chosen are built slowly, layer by layer, through holy contradictions. One moment, you feel unseen. The next, you sense the entire universe shifting to favor you. This tension is proof of calling. You might not notice it, but heaven often announces promotion through discomfort. When your spirit outgrows an old environment, everything begins to itch. Relationships, routines, even ambitions. It's because you're being stretched into a larger identity. The cocoon begins to tighten before the butterfly breaks free. You are in that exact moment now. Don't resent your difference. Don't despise the mark. The oil that sets you apart will also draw misunderstanding. Some will question your fire because they cannot handle the light it casts. That's not your battle to fight. Your only task is to remain faithful to the assignment. You were never meant to walk the easy road. The chosen walk, the narrow one, the path where obedience feels costly and silence feels endless. Yet it is there. In that narrowness, that intimacy with God is forged. The mark you carry is not decoration, it's declaration. It announces to heaven and hell alike that you belong to the Almighty. So stand tall. You don't need to explain your calling to those who can't discern it. The evidence of God's hand upon you will soon speak for itself. The season of proving is turning into the season of revealing, and when it does, every scar will tell a story not of survival, but of sovereignty. The mark of the chosen is not on your skin, it's in your spirit, and heaven has already recognized it. You are no longer hidden, you are being summoned. The same God who marked you in obscurity is now calling you into visibility. Your time of silence is over. The mark that once isolated you will now elevate you. Every unseen battle becomes a crown in plain sight. Heaven is preparing your unveiling. You've often wondered why God allowed the silence to stretch so long, why your prayers seemed to echo without reply, why others advanced while you remained unseen. But the truth is, you were never abandoned. You were being preserved. Heaven hides what it intends to reveal with power. Hiddenness is a holy strategy. When gold is refined, it spends most of its time under fire, unseen by the world. That is where you've been inside God's refining room, where the noise of the world can't reach, where destiny grows in quiet strength. The waiting was never wasted. There was once a young man who felt forgotten by God. Years of dedication seemed invisible. Then, one ordinary morning, opportunity found him not by chance, but by alignment. The habits formed in secret had become keys to the doors that now opened easily. What others called luck was really divine timing. You, too, are standing in that tension between preparation and revelation. It feels uncomfortable because you can sense movement, but see no results. The silence can make you doubt your worth. Yet that silence is where the voice of God is clearest. He didn't hide you to punish you. He hid you to protect what He placed in you. According to what is written in the book of Hosea, chapter 6, verse 3, as surely as the sun rises, He will appear. He will come to us like the winter rains, like the spring rains that water the earth. Enter. That promise is your anchor. The appearance of God's plan is certain. The same way rain always finds the ground. Purpose will find you. It cannot miss its mark. You are like a lighthouse in thick fog, still shining. Though unseen from the shore, the fog doesn't diminish the light. It simply delays its recognition. When the mist clears, your light will seem sudden, but it was steady all along. Do not despise this season of stillness. It's not stagnation, it's saturation. The Spirit is pouring wisdom into you, truth that can't be learned through success, only through surrender. Even Jesus spent 30 years hidden before 3 years of public ministry. If the Son of God embraced obscurity, why should you fear it? The secret place is where your strength is forged. It's where revelation replaces restlessness. You've been drawn back like an arrow in the hands of a skilled archer. The pull feels backward, the tension unbearable. But the same pressure that restrains you now will launch you farther than you ever dreamed. Don't resist the pull, yield to it. Soon, when God releases his grip, you'll understand why he made you wait. The impact will make sense of every hidden year. People will call it sudden, you'll call it sacred. Let your heart respond with faith, not frustration. Type, "Ready when you are," a short but powerful act of surrender. It's not about typing words, it's about aligning your spirit. When you declare that phrase, you're telling heaven, "I trust your timing more than my own." And remember this, what's hidden is still holy. You are being shaped in the shadows for a stage you haven't seen yet. Every quiet lesson, every unanswered prayer, every silent night, they are all ingredients of the miracle that's forming. Stay still, stay steady, stay surrendered. Your revealing season is already written. Heaven's spotlight is preparing to rise, and when it does, it will not fade. You are not forgotten, you are being finished. You may not realize it, but even now, small shifts are happening around you. Conversations are aligning. Ideas are forming. Hearts are being prepared to recognize what you carry. Heaven doesn't rush the masterpiece. It perfects every detail until the right eyes are ready to see it. What looks like delay is really divine choreography, arranging each step for perfect timing. Think of a seed beneath the soil. For weeks, nothing appears, but under that surface, pressure builds, roots deepen, and life stirs. The ground may look quiet, yet within it, creation is at work. That's what's happening in your hidden season, growth without applause. When the surface finally breaks, it won't be the start of your becoming. It will be the proof that you've already become. And when the moment comes, it won't require you to chase recognition. Light never begs to be seen, it simply shines. Your obedience will speak louder than your words. People will feel the difference in your presence, not because of noise or titles, but because heaven's fragrance rests upon you. That is the power of being chosen. So breathe and stay patient. Every second of waiting is watering your purpose. Heaven has seen your faithfulness in the shadows, and soon the world will too. Every chosen one must walk through the weight of preparation. It's the unseen part of destiny, the part no one applauds. The chapter that stretches faith until it nearly breaks. You have felt that weight, haven't you? The pressure to trust when nothing moves. The exhaustion of carrying promises that haven't yet materialized. That heaviness isn't a curse, it's construction. God is building something within you that cannot collapse. Preparation is the hidden architecture of calling. Before a temple stands tall, the ground must be dug deep. That digging feels like loss, but it's actually foundation. You can't rise high unless you've first gone low. And that's exactly what God has been doing in your life, digging deep, laying truth where emotion used to rule, replacing impulse with endurance. There's a story of a craftsman who built bridges across raging rivers. He said the hardest part wasn't lifting the steel or pouring the concrete. It was calculating how much weight each bridge must bear. That's what heaven has done with you. God tested your structure, not to break you, but to ensure you could hold the glory He intends to place on you. Every disappointment, every delay, every lonely night was part of that testing. The Spirit spoke through the book of James, chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. Consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Those words are not poetic, they are prophetic. They explain the ache in your soul, the refining of your patience, the stretching of your boundaries. You weren't being punished, you were being perfected. The pain has purpose. The pressure has design. When a sculptor begins with raw stone, the early strikes look violent. Chips fly. Dust fills the air. And what remains seems smaller than before. But to the sculptor, each strike reveals form, purpose, and beauty. That's how God works with you. Every loss, every removal, every no was a divine chisel shaping the masterpiece beneath the surface. Sometimes, the preparation season feels endless because we confuse it with stagnation. But in truth, heaven does its finest work when the earth is silent. Roots deepen before branches appear. You can't see what's growing because it's happening in dimensions beyond sight. You've probably felt misunderstood by people who couldn't see what God was doing inside you. They judged your pause as failure, your quietness as retreat. But while they saw inactivity, heaven saw intimacy. God often hides His work until it's ready for revelation. The same Jesus who calmed storms also slept through them. His stillness wasn't weakness, it was mastery. The weight you've carried isn't ordinary pressure, it's prophetic weight. The greater the assignment, the heavier the preparation. Think of Joseph again, the pit, the prison, the betrayal, all training for the palace. The chain around his wrist was teaching him to carry authority without arrogance. The isolation in prison taught him to rule with compassion instead of pride. And your journey echoes his. Every season that tried to break you only built capacity within you. The pain you carry now will one day become the language that heals others. You are being prepared not just to rise, but to lead. There's a sacred truth. God never wastes weight. The burdens you bear today become the crowns you carry tomorrow. What once felt crushing will soon feel confirming. The heaviness is heaven's investment in your strength. So if your life feels heavy, remember, grace isn't absent in pressure, it's hidden within it. Each challenge stretches the borders of your faith, making room for glory. You are being fortified for something vast, something eternal. One day, you'll look back and realize that the fire didn't destroy you, it refined you. The storms didn't drown you, they baptized you into deeper power. You will see that every unanswered prayer was answered differently. Every delay was disguised mercy. Every setback was a setup for something greater. The weight of preparation is proof that heaven trusts you. If you weren't destined for more, the resistance wouldn't be this strong. But because you are chosen, God won't let you stay shallow. He's preparing you for altitude. So let the process finish. Stand firm under the weight. Soon, what you carry inside will be strong enough to carry what heaven places upon you. And when that moment arrives, you'll understand why it had to take time. Every tear, every waiting night, every stretch of silence will reveal its meaning. You'll see that preparation was never delay. It was destiny in disguise, shaping you into someone unstoppable, unshakable, and undeniably chosen. There comes a moment when something ancient inside you awakens, when the stillness that once surrounded you begins to hum with life. You feel it now, don't you? A quiet stirring beneath the surface, like the first tremor before dawn breaks open. That, chosen one, is the awakening of the warrior spirit within you. You have fought silently for so long against fear, against fatigue, against the temptation to give up. Yet even when your knees trembled, you kept moving. That is what makes you dangerous to darkness. The very fact that you are still here means the fire inside you refused to die. In the hidden battles of the night, you have learned what strength truly is. It's not the absence of weakness, it's the decision to rise again, despite it. The warrior in you is not born from pride, but from purpose. Heaven has been sharpening your faith like a blade, testing its edge against the resistance of your trials. We are reminded in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Your scars are not signs of defeat. They are medals of endurance. Each one tells heaven's story of how you kept standing when it would have been easier to fall. There's power in that kind of resilience, an authority that cannot be learned through ease. Imagine yourself as a torch in a storm. The wind howling, the rain falling, yet your flame refuses to die. That flame is not your own, it is God's breath within you. When He breathes again, that flame will not only survive, it will spread. The warrior spirit is not about fighting others. It's about mastering the battlefield within, silencing the voice of fear, calming the chaos of doubt, and remembering who you are, even when everything shakes. You were made to carry peace into battle, to stand firm when others run, to believe when others retreat. Somewhere deep inside, you've known this moment would come, the call to rise. Not with anger, but with authority. You are not stepping into war to destroy, but to restore. There are people who will find courage simply by watching you refuse to quit. The awakening has begun. The Spirit of God is stirring courage inside you, like a river breaking its dam. You may not feel ready, but readiness is already in motion. Heaven doesn't wait for your confidence, it responds to your surrender. Now pause. Feel the quiet strength building within. Let it expand until it touches the edges of your fear and turns it into fire. And when that warmth reaches you, honor it. Let that be your offering of gratitude. If this moment feels like light returning after a long night, let it echo beyond you. Share it so that another soul can find their spark again. If you wish to keep walking this path with others who burn the same flame, subscribe, not out of duty, but as one lantern joining many. And if your heart smiles at the thought, gently like this message, let it be your silent Amen. like embers gathering in the dark. Each act of connection becomes a constellation of courage. Together, our light becomes a signal to heaven that the warriors have awakened. So lift your head, warrior. Straighten your shoulders. The dawn is rising, and your flame is part of it. The world doesn't need louder fighters, it needs braver hearts. And heaven has chosen yours to lead by quiet fire. You may not realize it yet, but this awakening is not just personal, it is generational. Every act of courage you choose sends ripples through time. Somewhere, a child will grow up braver because you refused to surrender. Somewhere, a broken heart will heal faster because you dared to hope again. Your obedience becomes legacy. The warrior spirit doesn't shout, it radiates. It walks into chaos and brings calm. It looks fear in the eye and says, "You no longer own me." This is the quiet revolution. Heaven has been planning ordinary souls carrying extraordinary peace. The greatest victory is not in conquering others, but in conquering the self that once bowed to fear. Picture a field after the rain, the ground soft, the air trembling with new life. That's what your spirit looks like now, fresh, pliable, ready to grow something divine. The battles that hardened you were never meant to kill you. They prepared the soil of your soul for holy growth. So stand in that field. Let the wind touch your face. And remember, you are proof that fire refines, not destroy. You are heaven's declaration that strength can be gentle and courage can be kind. There is a sound echoing through your spirit right now, a whisper that refuses to fade. You've heard it in your quiet moments. That gentle urging to move now. It doesn't shout, it stirs. It feels like holy restlessness, like the wind shifting direction right before the rain begins to fall. That is heaven's whisper, calling you out of hesitation. You've waited, prayed, and analyzed every sign, hoping for perfect clarity. But God rarely speaks through comfort, He speaks through conviction. Sometimes the door doesn't open because He's waiting for you to walk toward it. Movement is often the key that reveals the path. There was a man who spent years asking God for a sign to start his ministry. Every year, he prayed. Every year, he stayed still. One morning, he felt a nudge in his heart that said, "You already have the sign you're breathing." That day, he acted, and as he stepped forward, provision met him like a rising tide. He learned that obedience activates miracles. The same is true for you. Heaven has already whispered enough times for you to know what must be done. The question now is not, "What should I do?" but, "When will I obey?" And the answer is simple: now. We find in the book of Haggai, chapter 2, verse 9, "The glory of this present house will be greater than the glory of the former house. And in this place I will grant peace, declares the Lord Almighty." This verse isn't about buildings, it's about you. The new version of you that rises in obedience will carry greater glory than the old version that hesitated. God's peace waits on the other side of your movement. You've stood at the edge long enough, looking at what could be, but edges are not meant for staring, they're meant for stepping. The same faith that carried Peter out of the boat is the same faith stirring in your chest right now. He didn't need a guarantee, he needed courage. And when his feet met the water, the impossible became solid ground. Heaven is whispering the same to you. Move now. Don't wait until you feel fearless. Move while afraid. Fear doesn't disqualify faith, it reveals it. Every step you take in trembling obedience shakes something in the unseen. Sometimes you think you're waiting on God, but He's waiting on your yes. He's been preparing divine alignments, but they won't activate until you move, like a door that only opens from the inside. Your faith is the handle heaven needs. If your heart is racing while reading this, it's not anxiety, it's recognition. Your spirit knows that this is your cue. Heaven has whispered long enough. Now heaven commands. The winds of obedience are rising. You can almost feel them brushing against your face. Gentle, yet firm. Everything that has resisted you until now will start to yield the moment you act. The ground will open where you step, because obedience builds its own path. It's time. You've carried vision long enough. The birthing pain you feel is not warning, it's announcement. You are standing at the edge of fulfillment. If this word pierces your heart like truth long forgotten, let your spirit respond. Type 444, not as superstition, but as a symbol of readiness. Let it be your silent way of saying, I will not delay any longer. When you do, something in the unseen agrees. Heaven moves where hearts say yes. Listen again. The whisper is becoming a call. The call is turning into movement, and movement will soon become miracle. The time for waiting has ended. The time for walking has come. Step forward. Chosen one. The glory ahead of you is greater than anything behind. The wind is in your favor now. Move. Every step of obedience carries unseen ripples. When you move, heaven rearranges the atmosphere around you. People you haven't even met yet will be touched by your courage. That's how divine timing works. It multiplies your yes into blessings far beyond your reach. The whisper that once felt small will soon sound like thunder. Every doubt you battled will bow to the evidence of what God does through your movement. You'll realize it was never about perfection. It was always about participation, joining heaven's rhythm instead of resisting it. And when you look back, you'll see that fear was only a shadow, loud but powerless. The moment you acted, it lost its authority. Obedience, not confidence, made the impossible bend to your will. So walk now, not as someone uncertain, but as someone summoned. The earth is waiting for your footsteps, and heaven has already gone before you. This is your appointed moment to move. There comes a point in every chosen life where fear stands tall before you, daring you to move forward. It speaks softly but persistently, weaving itself into thoughts, disguising caution as wisdom, hesitation as humility. Yet fear is nothing more than a shadow, large in appearance but powerless under light. You are stepping into the season where that shadow will lose its grip. For too long, fear has tried to name you. It whispered that you weren't enough, that you'd fail like before, that you should settle for safety. But deep within, something stronger has been stirring faith. Fear and faith cannot coexist in the same breath. One will always silence the other. And now, the Spirit is calling you to silence fear once and for all. Breaking chains is never clean or quiet. It's messy, loud, and filled with resistance. But even resistance has purpose. It proves you're breaking something real. Each time fear rises, it reveals how close you are to freedom. Fear never attacks emptiness. It always guards treasure. The greater the fear, the greater the purpose on the other side. You've battled not just external fears, but internal ones. The fear of being seen, the fear of failing, the fear of repeating painful history. Those invisible wars have exhausted you, but they have also matured your spirit. Every sleepless night has taught you the language of endurance. Every anxious prayer has become a brick in your foundation. You are stronger than you realize, not because fear vanished, but because you kept walking despite it. The ancient words of Psalm 27, verse 1 remind us, "The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life, of whom shall I be afraid?" These are not just comforting words, they are divine instructions. Light and fear cannot coexist. When God's light shines on you, the shadows that once terrified you scatter. You don't have to chase them, they dissolve in His presence. Think of the eagle again. Before it learns to soar, it must first leap from the cliff. The air beneath looks uncertain, but the instinct within knows what to do. The leap is terrifying, but the wings were built for that very moment. That's you. You've reached the edge, and God has equipped you with what you need to fly. Fear tells you that falling is fatal. Faith tells you that falling is flying in process, and somewhere between those two voices, courage is born. Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means choosing truth despite it. You are learning that now. There was once a woman who lived afraid of her own potential. She kept her dreams small, her words soft, her steps safe. One day, she realized she wasn't protecting herself, she was imprisoning herself. She whispered a prayer. "God, I'm tired of fear dictating my story." That day, she took one step forward, and the ground didn't break beneath her. It blossomed. What once seemed impossible became inevitable. That same shift is happening for you. The fear that has followed you is losing its authority. It will still speak, but you will stop listening. You are entering a new spiritual posture, not defensive, but fearless. Every chain begins as agreement. You agreed with fear once, but you can break that agreement now by choosing belief. The moment you say within your heart, "No more," heaven reinforces that decision. Angels gather around courage. Remember this, fear is the prophet of the enemy. It predicts outcomes that never exist. Faith is the language of heaven. It declares what's already finished. The question is, which voice will you echo as you keep walking? Fear may try to follow, but it will lose its shape in the brightness of your obedience. Soon, you'll look back and realize that the prison door was never locked. It was only waiting for you to push it open. You were not designed to live small. You were created to carry the sound of freedom wherever you go. Fear has no legal right to your story anymore. It tried to silence you, but it only taught you how powerful your voice really is. So breathe deep, steady your heart, and remember, you're no longer standing before fear, you're standing beyond it. You have crossed the invisible line between trembling and triumph. What once terrified you now stands beneath your feet. This is not survival, it is sovereignty reclaimed through faith. Walk boldly into tomorrow. The same God who silenced storms now steadies your heartbeat. Fear no longer follows you. It fades in your wake. There is a sacred moment in every chosen life when heaven extends a new mantle, an invisible weight of authority that signals transformation. You may not see it, but you can feel it, that quiet shift in your spirit, that sudden awareness that something divine has settled upon you. The mantle is not fabric, it's fire. It's not worn on the shoulders, but carried in the soul. When God releases a mantle, it always comes after breaking. The vessel must first be emptied before it can be filled. That's why your recent seasons felt like loss. Heaven wasn't taking from you, it was making room for what was coming. The mantle of authority cannot rest on cluttered hearts. It requires surrender. Think of Elijah and Elisha on the banks of the Jordan. Elisha followed his mentor faithfully, refusing to leave even when Elijah warned him to stay behind. That persistence was not desperation, it was recognition. He knew what was about to fall from heaven, and he refused to miss it. When Elijah was taken up, the mantle descended. It didn't land in random soil. It landed where hunger had been proven. You, too, have walked faithfully through long stretches of silence, holding to promises others might have abandoned. You kept walking when the map made no sense. That endurance has positioned you beneath the fall of something powerful. A mantle is descending, one that carries the fragrance of heaven and the weight of divine assignment. According to the second book of Kings, chapter 2, verse 15, when the sons of the prophets saw him, they said, "The spirit of Elijah rests on Elisha," and they bowed to the ground before him. Oh, that moment wasn't about hierarchy, it was recognition. The same people who once doubted Elisha suddenly discerned the shift. True authority never needs to announce itself. It reveals itself through transformation. You are stepping into that same kind of revelation. This new mantle isn't meant for status, it's meant for service. The higher the calling, the deeper the humility required to carry it. The mantle comes with weight because power without character destroys. God has been cultivating in you a strength that bends, not breaks, a spirit that leads through compassion, not control. Sometimes, receiving a new mantle feels like contradiction. You expect celebration, but you meet isolation. You imagine triumph, but you find testing. That's because mantles attract pressure. Heaven doesn't hand out crowns, it hands out responsibility. Every gift you receive carries within it the need for greater dependence on God. You'll notice subtle shifts now. Your words will carry more gravity. Your presence will bring peace where chaos once ruled. People may look at you differently, not because of appearance, but because of atmosphere. You've become a carrier of something unseen. That is what divine authority feels like. Quiet strength, clothed in grace. The mantle also brings clarity. What once confused you will now make sense. Doors that resisted you before will recognize your name because heaven's endorsement has gone before you. The spiritual weight you carry will unlock what effort never could. But remember, mantles are maintained by intimacy. Authority without presence becomes empty performance. Stay close to the one who entrusted you with it. Return often to prayer, not as duty, but as breath. The mantle does not make you independent, it makes you more aware of your dependence. You will soon understand that every past hardship was training for this. The rejection, the loneliness, the questions, they forged the shoulders, strong enough to bear what others cannot. You were never disqualified. You were being qualified through pressure. There's beauty in this moment, the quiet realization that heaven trusts you. That trust is sacred. Carry it with reverence. Let the mantle remind you that the mission is bigger than the messenger, and the glory always returns to the giver. So, step gently, but walk boldly. You are no longer who you were yesterday. Something unseen but undeniable now rests upon you. You've been entrusted with more than power. You've been clothed with purpose. And as you move forward, the world will not simply see your actions. They will sense his presence in your wake. The mantle has fallen. You have been found ready. This is the moment heaven confirms what earth could not comprehend. You wear invisible fire, and it will speak louder than words. The mantle is not decoration, it's divine proof that God's trust in you has become visible. Walk with gentleness, yet carry thunder inside. Every step now echoes eternity's rhythm. The mantle upon you will open paths, heal hearts, and shift atmospheres. You are not the same. You are the one anointed to awaken others. The war you've been fighting has never been against people. It's been against the voices within. The loudest battle isn't outside of you. It's in your own mind. The clash between the voice of doubt and the voice of God has been shaping your destiny. Every day, those voices compete for your agreement, and whichever one you believe becomes your reality. Doubt speaks first because it shouts. It uses logic, fear, memory. It reminds you of past failures, amplifies your flaws, and tells you that nothing will change. The voice of God, however, speaks softer, but it carries weight. It doesn't argue, it invites. And that whisper always begins with peace. You've heard both voices before, the one that calls you unworthy, and the one that calls you chosen. You felt torn between them, suspended between surrender and hesitation. But now, the Spirit is teaching you to discern which one deserves your response. As written in the Gospel of John, chapter 16, verse 13, when the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all truth. He will not speak on his own. He will speak what he hears. This is the heartbeat of divine guidance. The Spirit doesn't just speak to inform you, are being led toward alignment with truth itself. He doesn't lead by pressure, but by peace. And if peace is missing, it's not his voice. There was a woman once who spent years chasing every sign, reading every word, trying to interpret every feeling. The noise was endless. One day, she decided to stop striving. She sat in silence and whispered, "Lord, I only want to hear you." The next morning, she woke with clarity so profound, it stilled her heart. The confusion that once bound her broke instantly. That's the power of recognizing the right voice. You've been trained in that same silence. Every time doubt screamed louder, heaven was teaching you to lean closer. The closer you listen, the clearer his voice becomes. Doubt thrives in distance, but faith grows in nearness. Think of it this way. When you stand beside a waterfall, the roar is all you hear. But when you kneel beside still water, you can hear a whisper. God's voice is like that whisper, steady, gentle, but undeniably strong. Right now, heaven is inviting you into stillness again. The noise of doubt will not end by fighting it. It will end by shifting your focus. You can't silence fear by debating with it. You silence it by worshiping through it. Every time you choose peace, you drown out chaos. This is the turning point where you no longer chase confirmation, you become it. Your peace will testify louder than your words ever could. The transformation is already visible. Others will soon recognize the calm authority resting on you. But even with growth, remember this. Discernment is not about knowing every answer, it's about knowing his tone. The tone of love never manipulates, never rushes, never condemns. It draws you in, not drives you out. If your heart knows this moment is speaking directly to you, type, "Guide me." Lord, let it be your quiet surrender, not performance. When you type it, you're saying to heaven, I choose to follow your truth, not my fears. That single act, simple as it seems, repositions your soul under divine direction. From this day forward, the battle inside will begin to quiet. You'll still hear the noise, but it will lose its power. The voice of truth will rise, steady and sure, and in that stillness, you will hear the sound that matters most, not thunder, not fear, but the whisper of God reminding you, you were never alone in the noise. When you finally learn to recognize His voice, confusion loses its crown. What once controlled your emotions begins to crumble under truth. You no longer react, you respond. This is the quiet authority of discernment, peace that cannot be provoked. The voice of God will begin shaping your choices, not by force, but by flow. You'll find yourself in the right place at the right time, not because you calculated it, but because you followed the whisper. Guidance will feel natural, not forced like a river guiding a leaf downstream. Even in chaos, you will sense clarity. Where others see only storms, you will sense direction. That's the power of intimacy with the Spirit. It doesn't remove trouble, it removes confusion. Peace becomes your compass, and truth becomes your rhythm. And when you walk in that rhythm, everything aligns. The world around you begins to respond to your inner calm. You become the echo of heaven's voice on earth. There comes a season when the fire that once frightened you begins to feel familiar. The same flames that once tested you now surround you like light, no longer to burn, but to crown. You have entered that season. What you thought would destroy you was always designed to define you. The trials were never random. They were refinement. Every heartbreak, every misunderstanding, every night of questioning was the forge of heaven shaping your spirit. You didn't merely survive the fire, you were transformed within it. You have walked through heat and found holiness. And now, the glow of endurance rests upon you like a crown no human hand can take away. You are learning what few ever do, that true royalty is formed, not in comfort, but in the crucible of pain. It is written in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 25. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it for a crown that will not last. But we, for one, eternal. That eternal crown is not jewelry, it is character. It shines not on your head, but through your life. You've been trained by trials to carry glory quietly. The fire that once terrified you has become your teacher. Think of gold in the furnace. It screams as the heat rises. Yet the fire is not the enemy. It is the purifier. When the temperature is perfect, the gold maker watches for one thing, his reflection in the metal. That's what God was doing with you. He turned the fire up only until he could see his image staring back. There was a man once who lost everything he called stability. His plans collapsed. His circle vanished. And all that remained was the raw version of himself. For months, he asked God for deliverance. But instead of escape, he found revelation. One night he said, "Lord, I see it now. The fire didn't change you, it changed me." And that was the moment the heat broke. The same realization is dawning on you. The pain was never punishment. It was permission for transformation, for authority, for depth. You have been crowned in the fire. Notice how your prayers sound different now. They are slower. Steadier. Less desperate. You no longer beg for comfort. You ask for clarity. That is maturity. You no longer chase blessings. You carry blessing. The heat built something eternal inside you. Resilience that doesn't depend on outcomes. When people see you now, they won't understand the calm in your eyes. They'll sense something unspoken, a quiet strength that can only be forged through surrender. That glow isn't pride, it's peace. The peace of one who has walked through fire and found God waiting on the other side. And as your light begins to spread, remember, every spark you carry has the power to ignite another heart. You are not meant to keep this fire to yourself. Let your endurance warm the cold. Your story light another's darkness. If your heart feels that glow right now, if you recognize yourself in these words, let it breathe outward. Like this message, not out of habit, but as a small flame of gratitude for what you've survived. Share it the way a torch passes light along a dark road, knowing someone else is searching for the same hope. And if your spirit longs to stay near this fire, subscribe, not as routine, but as communion, joining a circle of souls, learning to turn pain into light. Every click becomes a candle. Every heart that connects becomes another ember. Together, we form a constellation of endurance, proving that fire doesn't just consume it, illuminates. So lift your chin. Crowned one. The ashes beneath your feet are evidence of victory, not loss. You didn't escape the flames, you mastered them. Now, when you walk, sparks follow, and wherever you go, the darkness remembers your name. You are the living proof that fire purifies. You are the quiet miracle that rose from the smoke, wearing light as a crown. The fire has not left you empty, it has left you radiant. What once was pain has become brilliance. You now carry warmth that heals and wisdom that endures beyond every storm. Each ember in your spirit hums with purpose. You are not defined by what you endured, but by who you became within it, unshaken, unscarred, and unmistakably alive. Step forward, crowned one. Let your flame dance freely in the wind of destiny. The world awaits your glow, for your survival has become heaven's living testimony of transformation. You've reached the point in your journey where everything begins to align, not by effort, but by divine orchestration. What once felt chaotic now reveals pattern. What once seemed disconnected now forms perfect symmetry. This is not coincidence. It's the sound of heaven's alignment unfolding around you. When you were waiting in the wilderness, you couldn't see the larger picture. You questioned whether your prayers ever moved past the ceiling, whether your obedience mattered. Yet all along, heaven was building intersections, moments where people, places, and purpose would collide exactly when they were meant to. That collision is happening now. There's a calm in divine timing that no human plan can reproduce. The doors that resisted you before now open with quiet ease. Conversations you thought were lost are returning with purpose. Even the people who once walked away will circle back, not to reclaim the old, but to reveal closure or connection. Everything is beginning to serve the plan. We find assurance in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9. In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. And that verse is the blueprint of your current season. Every decision, every detour, every delay, God has been weaving them into a tapestry of alignment. What you called confusion was, in truth, choreography. Heaven has been arranging every thread, and now the pattern is surfacing. There was once a musician who nearly gave up after years of unnoticed work. His songs were pure, but his audience was small. In frustration, he asked God for success, but silence answered. Then one evening, a stranger stumbled across one of his recordings and shared it. Within days, doors opened globally. He realized that if he had succeeded earlier, pride would have poisoned the gift. The delay was divine design. That same principle is playing out in your story. Alignment doesn't mean ease, it means accuracy. God doesn't rush what He builds to last. Every connection He ordained carries eternal weight. And now, the alignment of heaven is setting the stage for acceleration. The relationships entering your life in this season are not random. They are keys disguised as people. Each carries something you need: wisdom, clarity, confirmation, strength. But you also carry something they lack. That's the beauty of divine exchange. Heaven never sends one-sided connections. You will notice how conversations feel lighter, timing feels smoother, and opportunities seem to appear without strain. That is alignment in motion. You don't need to chase what God is aligning. You only need to stay sensitive to His direction. Alignment also brings pruning. Not every voice can travel with you into fulfillment. Some threads were meant only for the weaving, not the final pattern. When certain relationships drift away now, it's not rejection, it's refinement. God is removing interference, so His signal comes through clearly. You will sense divine rhythm in ordinary places. A delayed email, a spontaneous encounter, a quiet impression to pause. All of it forms a language only discerned through trust. Heaven is not shouting, it's synchronizing. You are learning to live in sync, not in struggle. This is what it means to walk under open heavens. Peace instead of panic. Purpose instead of guessing. The things that used to require force will now flow. And when flow comes, you'll recognize it instantly. It feels effortless but sacred, like grace taking physical form. Every act of obedience you gave in hidden seasons has now accumulated interest. The seeds you planted through faith are sprouting in perfect sequence. You are not stepping into random blessings, you're stepping into the harvest of alignment. So breathe. Let this moment remind you that heaven has not forgotten a single detail. Every detour had a reason. Every no made room for the right. Yes, the confusion was necessary to birth clarity. The alignment of heaven is not a single event, it's a lifestyle. It begins with surrender and continues through awareness. Each day, heaven adjusts your path by degrees until destiny and obedience meet perfectly. You don't need to make anything happen. You only need to remain available. Heaven's orchestration is already underway, and your life is the instrument playing its melody. Listen closely. Everything is finally in tune. When alignment comes, peace follows like a shadow. You no longer chase, you attract what carries your same frequency. Every moment hums with purpose, and the timing feels almost musical. Heaven's rhythm replaces human rush. Each breath becomes cooperation with grace. You finally understand life was never random. It was divinely measured in sacred intervals. And now, as all things align, you walk lighter. Destiny no longer feels distant, it feels present, unfolding in real time around your every step. You are walking in harmony. Miracles have a way of appearing quietly. They rarely arrive with thunder. They slip in like dawn light, subtle yet undeniable. You begin to notice them, not because the world changes, but because you have. Your perception sharpens, your spirit quickens, and suddenly, everything ordinary becomes divine. This is the season where signs and wonders follow you. You may not have realized it yet, but heaven has already begun to mark your path with evidence, small confirmations that whisper, "You're on the right way." These aren't coincidences, they are coordinates. Heaven's way of saying, "Keep walking." Embo. When faith matures, it no longer begs for proof, it begins to manifest it. The same power that once split seas now moves through your obedience. Miracles are no longer distant, they live in your daily rhythm. There was once a man who worked in silence, convinced his efforts were unseen. One evening, overwhelmed with doubt, he prayed, "God, show me something real." The next morning, a stranger thanked him for words written years before words that had kept them alive. That moment changed him. He realized the miracle wasn't in what God gave, but in what God used. You are entering that same realization. The miracles won't always look like fire from heaven. They will look like peace that shouldn't exist. Favor that doesn't make sense. Strength that returns without explanation. Scripture records in the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 43. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostles. And those signs weren't meant for admiration, they were confirmation. The same Spirit that moved then is moving now. You carry that same current. Miracles are not distant events, they are extensions of divine proximity. When heaven begins to follow your footsteps, you'll notice unusual alignments. People will cross your path at exact moments of need. Words will leave your mouth that you didn't plan to speak, yet they'll pierce hearts with precision. These aren't accidents, they're echoes of obedience. You may feel unworthy to carry such weight, but that's precisely why grace chose you. The miracle doesn't depend on your perfection, it depends on your availability. God doesn't look for flawless vessels, He looks for willing ones. Imagine yourself as a lantern in the dark. The light inside you doesn't struggle to shine, it simply does, because that's what it was created for. Miracles flow the same way. When you stop striving and start surrendering, the supernatural becomes natural. You will soon walk into rooms and sense atmospheres shift. You'll speak and notice peace fall where confusion once ruled. You'll pray casually and see breakthroughs unfold quietly. Don't question it, acknowledge it. This is what happens when heaven endorses your steps. But remember, the purpose of signs and wonders is not applause, it's awareness. Miracles are not trophies, they are testimonies. They remind you that the God who called you still walks beside you. The most profound miracles may never make headlines. They happen in quiet reconciliations, in unseen healings of the heart, in silent forgiveness that frees generations. Heaven's wonders rarely need recognition, they simply need room. If your spirit feels the truth of this moment, if something within you knows that divine movement has already begun, type 2222 as a sign of agreement. Let it be your unspoken prayer. Lord, let my life become your evidence. That number doesn't summon power, it symbolizes alignment. Confirmation that you are ready to live as a vessel of wonder, because from now on, miracles won't chase you, you'll carry them. You'll walk into impossible situations and feel an inner assurance whisper, "Watch what I'll do." That's not arrogance, it's inheritance. You belong to a kingdom where impossibility doesn't exist. Signs and wonders follow those who follow him. And as you continue, expect the extraordinary to become ordinary, the supernatural to feel familiar. For when heaven walks with you, miracles become your shadow. You are the proof that God still moves. The more you recognize his hand in your daily steps, the more you'll realize that miracles were never rare, they were just unnoticed. Awareness becomes the gateway. What you honor, you invite to remain. Each act of gratitude widens the flow. When you thank God for small wonders, larger ones begin to find you. The supernatural doesn't need spectacle, it needs sensitivity. Heaven responds to humility faster than demand. So keep your eyes open and your heart quiet. The signs you see are not random, they are messages written in motion. Every coincidence is a conversation. Every wonder, a whisper. I am with you. Always. Oh, there comes a moment when the preparation ends and the purpose begins to breathe. You have reached that moment. You no longer wait to be noticed or validated. You stand where you are, clothed in quiet confidence, ready to carry light into the world's unrest. This is where your calling meets its battlefield. You are standing on the front line. The world around you trembles with uncertainty. Hearts are weary. Truth sounds faint. And hope feels scarce. Yet that is precisely why you were sent. Darkness does not intimidate the chosen, it reveals them. You were not made to escape the chaos, you were made to bring order within it. Every trial, every scar, every lesson has equipped you for this exact place. What once broke you now becomes your weapon. Compassion forged through suffering has become your shield. Wisdom carved by delay has become your sword. You are armed not with anger, but with understanding. The prophet Isaiah once wrote, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." These words from Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, are not ancient poetry, they are present prophecy. They call forth the part of you that has been silent, waiting for permission to radiate. Permission has been granted. You are not here to preach. You are here to become the sermon. Your life will speak what words cannot. People who would never step into a sanctuary will find glimpses of heaven in your patience, your consistency, your refusal to quit. You may not hold a pulpit, but you hold presence, and that presence changes rooms. Imagine a lighthouse on the edge of a restless sea. The waves crash. The sky screams. But the light never flickers. Ships do not reach safety because the storm ceased. They survive because the light stayed. That's you now, a steady beam in an unsteady age. But remember, standing on the front line is not about constant battle, it's about constant awareness. You are not fighting for victory, you are standing from it. The victory has already been written, you're simply carrying its banner into visible space. There will be moments when your strength feels small. That's when heaven lends you more. You'll sense it in sudden peace during chaos, in unexpected words, when hearts need healing, in resilience that appears out of nowhere. That's not luck, it's reinforcement. Every warrior of light receives divine backup. Your assignment may not look grand. It might be found in listening when others shout, forgiving when others fight, showing mercy when the world demands revenge. These quiet acts ripple farther than armies ever could. The front line is not always a stage. It is often a conversation, a moment of grace, A single decision to love when it hurts. You've been trained for this. The long nights, the unanswered prayers, the seasons of silence, they were not detours. They were drills. Heaven was building reflexes in you, teaching you how to stand when storms return. And storms will come, because light attracts both seekers and shadows. But do not fear it. Shadows only exist because of light. Their presence confirms your position. When you feel weary, remember that even soldiers rest between battles. Rest is not retreat, it's renewal. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and let God refill what the fight drained. Then rise again, not driven by duty, but drawn by destiny. Your presence in this generation is no accident. You are part of heaven's strategy to remind the earth that light still wins. You are proof that faith still breathes, that love still works, that God still moves through human vessels. Look around you now. The battlefield isn't distant. It's in homes, in workplaces, in moments of misunderstanding. Wherever there's confusion, you are the instrument of clarity. Wherever there's fear, you are the evidence of peace. You are not waiting for your turn has arrived. This is what all the previous seasons prepared you for: to stand firm, carry light, and keep shining until hope returns to those who forgot what it looks like. So lift your gaze. The front line is not a place of danger, it's a place of destiny. You're not here to survive the battle, you're here to shift it. When the night grows darkest, remember, it is only revealing how bright your flame has become. The deeper the shadow, the clearer your assignment shines. You were built for contrast. Even when you feel small, heaven sees impact rippling from your quiet faithfulness. Every step you take in love reshapes invisible landscapes. You carry atmosphere, not opinion. Stand firm, light bearer. You are not the echo of the world. You are the answer heaven sent into it. Let your steady glow remind creation that dawn is not coming, it has already begun. There comes a time when every chosen one is tested by obedience, not the easy kind that feels rewarding, but the kind that costs something, the kind that requires you to trust when logic rebels and surrender when comfort pleads to stay. You have reached that point. The call of God on your life now asks not for understanding, but for yes. This kind of obedience cannot be faked. It's not about appearances or reputation. It's about heart posture. True obedience doesn't always come with clarity. It often arrives wrapped in confusion. God's instructions rarely make full sense at first because they are written in faith's language, not fears. Remember Abraham. When God told him to leave everything familiar, there was no map, no timeline, only a voice that said, "Go." The miracle wasn't in the destination, it was in the decision. Every step he took without proof became proof that trust was possible. The same pattern now unfolds in your life. It is written in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 2. All these blessings will come upon you and overtake you if you obey the voice of the Lord your God. Oh, notice the order: obedience first, overflow second. Many want blessing without surrender, but heaven's rhythm doesn't work that way. Blessings are not earned, they are released through alignment. Obedience unlocks what striving never could. You have felt the tension of obedience before. That still, quiet pull in your spirit to release something, to forgive someone, to move when staying seemed safer. That was not imagination, it was divine instruction. Every time you hesitated, peace paused too. Every time you obeyed, even trembling, peace returned instantly. That's how you know you heard right. There's a story of a woman who was told by God to leave her secure job and start something new. Everything in her mind screamed, "You'll fail." Yet the prompting wouldn't fade. Finally, she said, "Lord, even if I don't understand, I'll go." In that instant, fear lost its throne. Months later, the vision that terrified her became her source of impact and provision. She realized obedience isn't a transaction, it's transformation. You are standing before a similar crossroad. Heaven is whispering something that feels bigger than you. It's not punishment, it's invitation. Obedience is always the gate to expansion. When you say yes, heaven doesn't just move around you, it moves through you. But understand this, obedience will test your attachments. It will challenge your pride, your preferences, even your sense of control. You cannot step into new seasons while clutching what belongs to the old. Surrender feels like loss, but it is actually exchange your limited for His limitless, your understanding for His wisdom. Every act of obedience rewrites your spiritual DNA. It trains your instincts to follow peace instead of panic. It purifies motives, clarifies direction, and builds resilience. That's why obedience often hurts. It's burning away everything that can't come with you. The greatest breakthroughs don't arrive on mountaintops. They come in moments of quiet surrender when your heart whispers, "Even if I don't see it, I'll still believe." That's when heaven leans in and releases power beyond comprehension. Sometimes, God's requests seem to strip you bare. He asks for trust when evidence is absent, for giving when resources seem scarce, for forgiveness when wounds are fresh. But every difficult instruction carries hidden mercy. The demand is never for your harm, it's for your freedom. Obedience will always look unreasonable before it looks miraculous. It's the bridge between confusion and clarity, between promise and fulfillment. Every yes you give in faith builds the unseen bridge you'll one day walk across. You may not know where this next step leads, but you can be sure of who leads it. He has never called you to a place He hasn't already prepared. You're not stepping into uncertainty, you're stepping into alignment with destiny. So don't fear the command that costs you something. The price of obedience is temporary, but the reward is eternal. Every time you trust beyond logic, heaven writes history through your story. You have heard the whisper. Now, let your heart respond. Your yes today is the seed of tomorrow's miracle. Your obedience will not go unnoticed. Heaven remembers every fiat, surrender, every decision made in faith's trembling hands. Those moments build invisible altars, places where divine favor will later rest and multiply. So take heart. The God who called you will complete what He began. Your yes is already echoing through eternity, unlocking doors you haven't yet reached. Walk forward. Grace has already gone ahead of you. There are seasons when time itself begins to bend, when what once took years begins to happen in moments, when doors open faster than you can knock, and long prayers suddenly find their answers. You have entered such a season. This is the hour of prophetic acceleration. The rhythm of heaven has shifted in your favor. Things that were once delayed are now catching up to divine schedule. It's as if every seed you planted in tears has begun to sprout all at once. You can almost feel it, the pace of grace increasing. The air around you thick with movement. Heaven is no longer whispering, "Wait." It's declaring, "Now." Acceleration is not chaos, it's culmination. It doesn't ignore process, it completes it. Every year that felt wasted is being redeemed. Every detour is becoming destiny's shortcut. You thought you were behind, but God was building momentum unseen. Now the momentum is visible. The Apostle Paul wrote in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 2, "In the time of favor, I heard you. In the day of salvation, I helped you. Now is the time of God's favor." Those words carry divine urgency without anxiety. They remind you that heaven's timing is not waiting for your perfection, it's waiting for your permission. The moment you align, acceleration begins. Think of a river after heavy rain. For months it trickled, patient and predictable. Then the skies opened, and suddenly it surged, carrying everything forward in its flow. That's what's happening in your spirit. The waters are rising, and what used to crawl is beginning to run. Acceleration can feel overwhelming because change moves faster than comfort can keep up. But the same grace that speeds your path will strengthen your steps. You won't be swept away, you'll be carried. There was once a teacher who prayed for years for her life's purpose to bloom. Nothing seemed to move. Then, within a single month, opportunities she had forgotten began to find her. It felt like everything arrived at once. She said, but it wasn't sudden, it was sovereign. Heaven had waited for one thing, her readiness. And now, heaven has found you, ready. The years of preparation, the tears, the waiting, they've all converged into this divine quickening. God is not skipping steps, He's fulfilling them faster. What was slow has become swift. What felt locked has become liquid. This is the moment where obedience becomes acceleration. Your willingness to move when called has set everything in motion. You'll look back soon and realize that you didn't chase opportunity, favor chased you. But acceleration requires stillness of heart. If you try to control the current, you'll resist it. If you rest in it, you'll rise with it. The same wind that once opposed you now propels you forward. And if, as you hear these words, something within begins to stir, if you sense that holy wind brushing past your spirit, let it be your sign. Don't fight the flow, follow it. Like this message, if it resonates as truth that mirrors your season, let that single act be your quiet agreement with grace. If you feel this current could awaken someone else's faith, share it, not for attention, but as an act of compassion, like passing the torch of momentum from your flame to another's. And if something within you recognizes this pace of grace, this divine quickening that feels both fierce and familiar, leave a trace in the quiet below. Comment, "I flow." It's not about words on a screen. It's a gentle declaration that you choose to move with heaven's current instead of resisting it. Your simple note becomes a ripple, joining countless others who have decided to follow the same river of purpose. And if you long to remain near voices that remind you of divine timing, subscribe, not as habit, but as home. This space is for those who walk with heaven's rhythm. Your heart knows this is no ordinary time. The pages of your story are turning quickly because the author is writing in real time. What took years to prepare will manifest in moments of surrender. You are stepping into divine velocity, and though everything around you accelerates, peace remains your anchor. You will not be dizzy, you will be destined. Breathe deeply. Feel it, the wind of purpose at your back, the pull of promise ahead. The season of stillness has ended. You are now moving with heaven's speed. Every heartbeat now syncs with divine rhythm. What once crawled now soars. You are no longer waiting on time. Time is waiting on you. Step forward, carried by the eternal pulse of destiny, fulfilled. Every unveiling has a sound, a still, unmistakable hum that fills the air before something sacred emerges. You are standing in that moment now, where what was hidden in your life begins to take form. The veils of delay are lifting. The lessons you once endured in silence are becoming visible testimonies. This is the great unveiling. For a long time, you wondered if any of it mattered, the prayers that echoed unanswered, the battles no one saw, the obedience that cost more than applause could ever repay. But heaven saw. Every tear was data in divine design. Every quiet surrender built the foundation for this revelation. When God unveils, He does not announce it with noise, but with clarity. Suddenly, everything that once confused you aligns, and you realize that the dark chapters were not detours, they were drafts. The author was writing depth into your story so the light could carry meaning. There was once a man who painted for years in solitude, convinced his work would never be seen. He destroyed nearly every canvas that didn't meet his own impossible standards. Yet one day, an art collector discovered a discarded painting, recognized the brilliance in its imperfection, and introduced it to the world. That man's name became known, not for his perfection, but for his perseverance. The unveiling came not when he finished his masterpiece, but when he stopped hiding it. So it is with you. Heaven is not waiting for you to be flawless. It is waiting for you to be visible. The power that has been forming inside you is meant to be revealed, not restrained. According to the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 19, the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. That verse speaks of now. The world is starving for authenticity, aching for light wrapped in human form. And you are part of heaven's answer to that hunger. Your unveiling is not about fame, it's about function. When God reveals you, it's because someone else's breakthrough is attached to your obedience. The unveiling often begins subtly. People who once overlooked you will start to remember your name. Opportunities that felt sealed will quietly reopen. Conversations that died will revive with purpose. You'll notice it first, not in applause, but in atmosphere. The heaviness around you begins to shift because your hidden light has found expression. Unveiling requires courage. It demands that you step out of comfort and allow your truth to breathe. The same God who kept you hidden will now make you visible, but He will also keep you grounded. You were concealed, not for punishment, but for preservation. And now that the preservation has served its purpose, revelation begins. Do not fear being seen. Visibility does not expose you. It exalts His work within you. When the world looks your way, it will not see pride, it will see process. Every scar, every delay, every tear will testify that grace is stronger than striving. You will notice divine timing weaving through everything. The people who need what you carry will appear exactly when you step forward. Words will come without rehearsal. Impact will flow without effort. That's what unveiling feels like. It's not performance, it's alignment. Remember, unveiling is not about arrival, it's about revelation. You haven't made it. You're being made visible. And with visibility comes stewardship. What heaven entrusts. It expects you to nurture. You are a gardener of influence, not an owner of it. As you step into this new space, humility will become your anchor. The same humility that carried you through hiddenness will now carry you through recognition. Never forget where the oil was crushed, where the light was first lit. The unveiling will not happen all at once. It will unfold like sunrise, slow, golden, unstoppable. You won't have to announce it. Your presence will reveal it. People will sense something has shifted, even if they can't name it. That's the fragrance of divine timing. So stand tall. Chosen one. The curtain is rising, not because you forced it, but because heaven decided it was time. What once lived in private preparation is now crossing into public purpose. You have waited long, endured much, and learned deeply. Now the world will witness what heaven already knew. You were never ordinary. Every unveiling carries responsibility to shine without arrogance, to rise without forgetting the soil that grew you. Let gratitude be your garment as you step into the open light. This is your moment of revealing. What was once whispered in secret will now echo through nations. Walk forward. Heaven's spotlight is gentle, but it never fades. You have walked the long road from hiddenness to unveiling, from pain to purpose, from waiting to wonder. Every season has written its line into the story of your becoming. And now, heaven writes the final sentence of this chapter, the coronation of the chosen. This is where calling meets completion. This is the crown and the kingdom. You have been refined like gold, tested in silence, trained through storms. What began as survival has turned into sovereignty. You no longer chase confirmation because you have become it. Everything about you, your stillness, your words, your resilience carries the signature of divine authority. The crown you wear is invisible, yet undeniable. It isn't forged from gold or adorned with jewels. It's made of endurance, humility, and faith. You earned it not through conquest, but through consistency. Every time you bowed before God, when others broke, another gem was set in place. As declared in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. That crown is more than a promise. It's a posture. It means you now live from victory, not toward it. The battles you fought no longer define you. They serve you. The weight that once crushed you now steadies your walk. You have learned to carry glory quietly. The kingdom you inherit is not made of borders or thrones. It exists wherever light reigns, wherever peace is restored, wherever love refuses to die. You are not called to rule over others. You are called to reign over darkness, to govern your atmosphere with grace. The authority of a chosen one is not loud, it's luminous. Imagine a tree that has survived every storm. Its branches bear scars. Its bark carries stories. Yet its roots run deep and its fruit still grows. That's you. The storms didn't strip you. They strengthened your foundation. Now, even your shadow gives shade to others. You have become a resting place for weary hearts. People will find safety under your wisdom without you even realizing it. The kingdom you represent isn't about dominance, it's about restoration. Wherever you go, peace follows like fragrance. That's how heaven expands, through hearts that remember who they are. The beauty of this crown is that it can't be removed. It's not fragile or borrowed, it's bonded to identity, even on quiet days. When no one applauds or notices, you still reign. Because true kingship doesn't depend on recognition, it rests on revelation. You know whose you are, and that knowing is unshakable. There's a calm authority in your presence now, the kind that comes from scars turned sacred. You no longer fear loss because you've met the giver. You no longer chase validation because you've found purpose. That is the language of the crowned contentment that confuses chaos. When you speak now, your words will carry the weight of heaven's trust, not to control, but to build, not to impress, but to inspire. The crown is not permission to dominate, it's an invitation to serve. You may not realize it, but the world is watching for examples of quiet royalty, souls who lead by love instead of power. You are becoming that example. The more you rest in humility, the brighter your crown shines. There will be days when the kingdom feels heavy, when responsibility outweighs recognition. In those moments, remember the same hands that crowned you will sustain you. You were not chosen to carry the world alone. You were chosen to reflect the one who already does. This crown was never about achievement, it was about alignment. When your heart finally matched his, heaven placed authority on your head and peace in your hands. That is what reigning looks like, not dominance, but divine order. So stand still for a moment. Feel the weight not of burden, but of belonging. The kingdom is not coming, it has come, and it rests within you. The chosen are not crowned to be admired, they are crowned to ignite. You are both flame and foundation, both servant and sovereign. Every breath now echoes heaven's decree. You are crowned to carry light. The journey has come full circle. What began in hiddenness ends in honor. The voice that once whispered purpose now declares fulfillment. You wear not just a crown, but the evidence of heaven's faithfulness. Walk forward, chosen one. The world will see your light and know who sent you. You are not merely called, you are commissioned. The kingdom within you has awakened. And now, the story settles into stillness, the kind that follows revelation, not exhaustion. You have journeyed through every valley and mountain, through silence and song, through darkness and divine fire. The crown rests upon your spirit, not as decoration, but as confirmation. You are the proof that heaven still moves through human hearts. Everything you have walked through has led to this realization: you were never abandoned, only anointed. You were never delayed, only developed. And now, as your light expands, the world will feel its warmth. What you carry cannot fade, because it was not built by emotion. It was forged by eternity. You have been refined, revealed, and crowned. But the story does not end. It unfolds through every step you take from this point forward. Each moment of kindness you give, each word of faith you release, continues the ripple of this divine calling. You are not finished, you are fully formed. If these words have met you where silence once lived, like this message, not as applause, but as acknowledgement that your journey has meaning, if it stirred something deep in your spirit, share it with another soul who might be standing where you once stood, searching for confirmation that heaven still speaks. And if you wish to remain in this flow of faith, to keep walking with others, who burn with the same quiet fire. Subscribe, not as routine, but as return. You are part of a family of light-bearers, each carrying a spark that keeps the flame alive. Before you leave, let your spirit leave a mark. Comment, "I rise." It is not mere interaction, it is declaration. It says, "I choose to live as one who remembers the crown, walks with purpose, and carries peace." And this is your moment of closure and continuation, your benediction and your beginning. Heaven watches, earth listens, and your story, your sacred, shining story continues to speak.